this is important to clarify before we get into everything. I have zero musical experience, and I mean like zero, dude. Like the closest I might be able to get is picking up a guitar on and off for like 6 months. But even then, I only learned like 3 chords, which I don't even remember now, in a Johnny Cash song. But you see, I saw this TED Talk by this dude named Josh Kaufman, and in it, he's all like, yeah, dude, you can learn anything you want to in 20 hours or less, and the difference between 0 to 20 is crazy. And I was like, bro, that's dope. Show me how. Also, like, the guy says ukulele super weird, man.
Is play the ukulele. Has anybody seen Jake Shimabukuro?
Anyways, I wanted to test his theory. So I went on Instagram and I asked a bunch of my friends, what do you think I should learn? And yeah, you guessed it. They chose music production. And holy shit.
Wait.
Kill up.
That sounds distorted as shit.
We're using way too many platforms.
Is this the effect?
But that's aside from the point. Today, what I'm here to do is show you the final 3 hours of my music production challenge to show everyone what you can realistically achieve from 0 to 20 hours of music experience starting from nothing. And before we get into the nitty-gritty stuff, I gotta tell you 3 things if you are interested in doing this yourself. Thing number 1, I did this completely for free. I did not spend a dime. I didn't buy FL Studios, I didn't buy any kits, and I did everything within the free trial time because your boy's broke. Thing number 2, I used kits. I'll be real with you. You could make some amazing sounds with all the stock stuff that they have in FL Studios, but the problem with that is that it takes like 20 hours to learn how to do that stuff in the first place. Thing number 3, there are imperfections. Dude, this is 20 hours in Phonk music production, not 10,000. I didn't magically become some music production god that descended from the sky to teach you guys this stuff. I'm just a dude, okay? Anyways, without further ado, I'd like to show you guys the production of this chaotic mess.
Palsy teaches himself anything. Part number 1, the scale.
FL Studios comes with this amazing cheat sheet for all the people who don't know music production, like myself, and that is scale highlighting. Basically what you do is when you go into your piano roll and you go into your tools inside of it, you change your view to a scale that you want to. And by doing this, it's going to give you like training wheels that help you kind of navigate the world of musical theory without actually learning musical theory. All you have to do is just click on the light gray squares and not click on the dark gray squares. Don't click on the dark gray squares. Yeah, you say that right? I think we said that right. And then you can basically stay in key so long as you follow those 2 very simple rules. And if you want like an actual walkthrough of it, it's in episode 4. So you watch it if you want. Honestly, I don't care.
Part 2, the bass.
I have absolutely no idea if you're supposed to put the bass first or not. I just saw Arcade do it, but then I saw other dudes do the melody first, so I got confused. But anyways, I just started doing the bass first, and the problem I had was I was like really trying to make cool, complicated bass patterns with slide notes and stuff like that, and like certain and offbeat rhythms. And dude, like relax, like. You can do really good sounding bass with just a few simple varying bars. That's all you really need to do. You don't need to make it super complicated like me. But yeah, just remember that if you're gonna get started with this stuff.
Part 3, the melody.
Okay, this is actually an area where I actually have a little bit of confidence in. This is something that somebody complimented me on in a previous video, and that boosted my ego way more than it needed to be boosted. But anyways, the cowbell melody, this is like the definitive element of Phonk music. This is that magic sauce that everyone goes crazy for. And it's in every kind of Phonk genre that there is. But anyways, for the melody that I made, it was really simple because all I did was I just copied the terrible bass pattern that I had made, took out a few slide notes here and there, and changed up some stuff near the ending to give it a little bit more of like a oomph, like a little bit of magic, something fun to play with. After a few tweaks and corrections, this is kind of where I got it to.
Part 4, a lo-fi effect.
This is not technically necessary, but it does make a pretty big difference. If you use a lo-fi effect and you sidechain it to a bass, it does create this really cool sound. There's only one problem. My dumb ass forgot to sidechain it, so it's just this really loud, overpowering like white noise thing that was just perpetually in the track, and I ended up like, it drove me crazy while I was editing this video because I was like, oh my god.
Part 5, the drums.
All right, I gotta come out and say it. I'm like really terrible with drums, man. Like I was just doing a 4 on the floor pattern every song that I did, and I even had a dude comment in like one of my earlier videos that was basically just me shitposting, being like make your drums better. He said it really nicely, but in my head I was like, yo, these drums are shit. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that they're shit, because actually when I got that criticism, I'm not joking, I finished the challenge and then I spent like 4 hours watching videos on how to make better sounding drums, because I was like very insecure about it. But an important note on drums is that like it really depends on the subgenre of funk that you're doing. That's kind of gonna like determine your pattern that you're gonna use. If you're trying to make house funk, like your drums are gonna be pretty housey, 4 on the floor, some variation of that. You might even have open hats and stuff like that. But if you're using like trap music as your inspiration, or trap funk, or like drift funk, like you're gonna have trap drums. Obviously, there's also Brazilian funk, and Brazilian funk is super weird because instead of having like hi-hats and snares, they just replace those with voxes. But there are a lot of cool kind of like tricks that you can do to make drums really like pop, like snare rolls and like rapid hats, and like changing the key of like the notes that you're using for that stuff. Super cool. But yeah, your boy is not very good with drums. I hate snares.
Part 6. Another cowbell?
Yeah, okay, so I watched a video on this guy breaking down KSLV songs, and in it he's like, bro, there's actually 3 separate cowbells that he's using the entire time. And I was looking at that, I went, what? So yeah, my dumbass decided to make 4 separate cowbell melodies in this song, which I do not recommend that you do, because it will probably drive you insane. Like it did to me. Yeah.
Part 7. Volume automation.
Also, on the note of KSLV, this man really uses a lot of volume automation stuff. Here's a clip, for example, of what I'm talking about. You gotta be real, man. Like, that adds oomph. But this is like a thing that, like, technically, it's pretty easy to do. You just right-click on the volume knob and then create an automation clip. But, like, to actually make it sound good, it's like an entire other battle, my man. I'm not joking, I spent at least 15 to 30 minutes on like 5 seconds of my song just trying to get the volume automation right, and it was not working. I got so mad. Here, listen to me rant about it.
It's gonna sound like ass. Stupid volume automation.
I hate volume automation. But eventually, I found it, and this is what it ended up sounding like. Actually, I don't hate that. What?
Part 8. Creativity and bullshit.
Okay, I gotta talk about this, because this was like a big learning experience thing for me, especially with this funk music challenge. Making music is this creative endeavor where you're sitting down and you're like vibing and you're trying to make something, but a lot of the times you'll get really discouraged. And the reason you get discouraged is because you cannot take what's in your noggin and put that on the track, because you don't know how FL Studios works. That was a huge problem for me. You'll even watch me in a bunch of earlier VODs of my stream where I'm basically beatboxing a pattern, and I just, for the life of me, cannot put that beatbox pattern onto a track or use drums and stuff in an effective way. And that's like super basic level stuff, and I just couldn't do it. And you'll have this issue with a bunch of things. And I was thinking about, in this clip, I'm thinking about how to make a really dope drop, and I could not do it. And I even in the stream was like, this is stupid. This is so stupid. What the am I doing, dude? But don't be discouraged, okay? That's the other thing you want to take away from the creativity thing. It's totally good for you to feel creative when you're doing these things, but you have to ask yourself the right questions on how would you realistically achieve that goal that you're trying to do in the track. And it might be something as simple as learning a tutorial or mixing several tutorials together. But take a moment to really explore creatively, but that doesn't mean you need to put it in the track. And which I did not put that in the track because it sounded like shit.
Part 9. taking a break.
This is really important. I think you should take a break. So here's me playing Overwatch in the background while I explain this. And yeah, of course, it's Lucio because, like, it's fitting, is it not? Also, your boy's a pretty decent Lucio, okay? All right, so here's the deal, all right? Like, when you're making music, I had to look this up to see if other people were having this thing. I call it producer's fatigue. When you're making music, it's a very audio-sensitive thing that you're doing. Like, you're always listening to things over and over and over again. It's like your own personal Chinese water torture, except you made it, so it's your own damn fault. And when I was making my song, it got so bad to the point where I wasn't even sure what sounded good and what sounded bad. Like, all the good things started to sound bad and all the bad things started to sound good. That's a huge problem if you're making music. I do not recommend that shit at all. So I knew I needed to take a break, because you gotta remember, I'm on the free trial of FL Studios. I can't just save this program and open it at another time. Plus, I'm on a timer. I had 3 hours to make this thing. So I paused the timer, played a little bit of Overwatch, and then I went right back to it.
Part 10. Oh, goddammit, the dog's barking. Part 10. Oh, my
Goddamn, 1 sec. Oi! I love you. I love you. I'm recording. I need you to stop talking. Sorry about that. My baby girl comes first.
Part 10. SFX and mixing. Yay!
Alright, this is, like, by far the weakest part of me next to the drums. Bro, when I say there was so much more I could have done, there is so much more I could have done. If you notice, I didn't even, like, move the volume knobs at all for anything, which is something now is, like, I'm super crucial about, like, making sure that certain sounds are not overpowering others, and, like, balancing the EQs so that it's not muddled. I don't know why. I knew all of that stuff when I was doing this challenge, but I just forgot about it, I guess. There could have been way better mixing in the song. Also, the SFX that I use, it's kind of cheesy, but it, like, kind of works. Like, it almost tells a story, almost, with the way that I was using it. And SFX is, like, really good for doing transitions. Like, if you're gonna build up to a transition between, like, a beat or introduce a new instrument, oh my god, SFX are, like, your saving grace. It's just weird to try and, like, fit it, because you have to, like, mess with the BPM of a thing, or, like, stretch it to get it to fit and stuff like that, which is why it's kind of weird. But other than that, SFX can be your saving grace. You can edit the crap out of them using mixing and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, even, like, the effects that I put onto the actual tracks that I have is pretty weak. It's basically just, like, sound goodizer, a little bit of reverb. Also, people say sound goodizer is shit. Is this true? I've heard people say it's shit and other people say it's great, so I don't really know. Parametric EQ and, like, fruity reverb and wave shaper. That's all I used. Although I would love to get Kickstart or whatever it is, the thing that sidechains really easy. That shit looks fire. But anyways, that's that. And yeah, that pretty much concludes all the components that I used to make this song. But instead of showing you guys the song right now and talking over it with the outro, I'll just put it after this quick little tidbit. A few things I want to let you know after doing all of this Phonk Challenge stuff. Thing number one, it is so cool to have done this now, because I have a new hobby that I never would have done otherwise. Now, when I'm bored and I'm waiting for my friends on Discord or stuff like that, I'll just open up FL Studios and make a beat. As a matter of fact, this is a beat I made with chat just the other day because I was just bored and just sitting and chilling and talking with them and making pixel art at the same time. And at this point in time so far, we have done 2 of these 20-hour challenges. We've done the Phonk video, which that's this. We also did the pixel art challenge, which is done. I just gotta sit down and edit, which honestly, I should do a video on editing because my goodness, this is so time consuming. But yeah, if you want to get early access to that stuff, just hop on stream, see where we're at, and I'll happy to tell you anything that's going on. Also, if you have any ideas on what I should try and teach myself next, please comment that down below, because I am totally open to suggestions. And honestly, the crazier it is, the better, so long as it's free, or I will try to find a way to make it free. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the subscribers that have apparently come out of the woodworks. I was not expecting 250. My goal was 50 by the end of the year, but you know, times 5. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for that. But other than that, that's it from me. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can do anything that you set your mind to, so long as you put the time, effort, and brain power into it. I believe in you because I am stupid and I did this, and it's not good, but you know, you can do anything, man. You believe in yourself. I believe in you.
subscribe to PUL535. You know it.